In this tutorial, I'll be demonstrating one method for composing the music for your film. It's important to remember that the music is there to support the film, so you need to keep it simple, and it's best not to have too many notes going on, especially when you begin the composition. It may need to become more complex later on, but keeping it more basic earlier on in the compositional process will make your life a lot easier. If you don't already have some idea of the instrumentation that's going to be involved in the piece, then it's a good start just to use a piano. So for this example, we will be using a piano instrument only. Later on, we will explore how to arrange the piece using other instrumentation. If we look at the film scoring musical cue sheet, which is on the collaboration page, this should now have been filled in, but we can start off by using the example that I've given. Let's look at the adjectives, the emotions in the film. So, I've written in here that there's unease, there's tension, there's concern. So something is happening, we're trying to build suspense in the film. So building tension is our primary goal in this scene. I've come up with a few ideas to help us build tension in the music. We can put the music into a minor key. We can use some odd time signatures. We can use dissonance, which is where notes are clashing, that they don't seem in keeping with the musical key of the music. Dynamics, which is where there are changes in music, so crescendos as the music's getting louder or fading back down again. And syncopation, which is use of rhythmic variations to accent offbeats and sort of disrupt the natural flow of the music. So let's get started. The first thing I did is went to my global tracks, to the time signature track, and I chose 7/8. You can choose any other time signature that you'd like. I felt that 7/8 might be a suitable time signature for this particular piece of music. To change the time signature, you double click at the beginning of this section here. It's likely that yours will currently say 4/4. When you open this up, you'll be able to change the note values and the number of beats in each bar. So, as I said, this might be 4/4 for you now, but you can move this up and down to varying time signatures. For now, I'm going to close the global tracks as I don't need to use this right now, and it will give me more space on the screen. The next thing we will do is create a piano instrument. To add a new instrument, you can go to the plus symbol at the top of the tracks, select Software Instrument, and a good starting point is the EXS24 sampler. If you click on this browser button in the top left hand corner, you will be able to search through different types of instruments. We want piano, so I'm going to click on acoustic piano and select Steinway Piano 2. We can close this afterwards. The piano sounds quite dry. It's always a good idea to add a bit of reverb, as this will help put you in the mood that you're trying to create. So I'll go to the left hand column and add a reverb audio effect. You can choose any preset that you like. I'm going to go to a large space and select a plate reverb. I'm happy with that. I've chosen a minor key for this piece of music. If you need to remind yourself of the minor and major keys, there is a chart on OneNote with the notes on the keyboard, followed by each relative major and minor key, and the notes that are in them. Now I want to start my composition. I'm going to remind myself that I want to keep it simple and not have too many notes. I've chosen a minor key. I think I'm going to use E minor. I want to include some dissonance in the melodic theme, and I want some dynamic change. So I'm thinking that I would like to have it start off very soft and build up and get louder gradually. At this stage, the melody that you come up with is totally up to you. It's your preference. Just keep in mind the basic rules that are listed here. When I started working on my melody, I decided to keep it to no more than 5 notes. I actually started off with 4, and the rhythmical elements are very, very simple. This is what I came up with. I then decided I wanted to add some dissonance, so I added an extra note so that I could include two clashing notes. I added the E to this sequence. I recorded this into Logic, and this is the result. You may notice here that the colours are changing on the notes. You should know already that this means the velocities are changing. I wanted the piece of music to get gradually louder as it progressed, so I went into the MIDI clip after I recorded the part and turned on the MIDI draw editor. This gave me access to the note velocity. You can control many other aspects such as balance, modulation, etc. But I wanted to change the velocity, so the velocity directly relates to the volume of the sound. I then held down the command button and drew a straight line from the bottom left hand corner to the top right hand corner, and it drew in my velocity changes. So now when you play back, the piano part starts off quiet and gradually gets louder. This melodic idea is very basic. I don't want to change it, however, in the next part. So in order to create some kind of variation, I duplicated the piano track and pitched up the part by 1 octave. I then added some delay for some rhythmical variation. The next thing I decided to do was add some kind of accompaniment, a bass line in the left hand, just to help with the chord sequence. When you hear that with the rest of the piece. And finally, I decided to add some syncopation to the music. So I added one piano note that stays the same throughout, just playing on and off the beat. When we play back all of these textures, we start to get the feeling that there is some tension building in the scene. I'm also going to turn the effects back on.